Hi, Anthony Zapelli with the Anthony Zapelli team, and what we're going to be discussing is the appraisal process. So now that we have a fully executed contract, one of the next steps in the process is the appraisal process. Now, what is the appraisal? It's where the bank hires a third-party company to make sure that the home is being sold at fair market value and that the buyer is not upside down or underwater on their mortgage payments when they close on the property. All right. So what is the appraisal process? What do they do? Well, they basically do their home evaluation to make sure that, again, the home is priced at fair market value. So they look at the home that's in contract and compare it to other homes that have sold. Some of the things that they look for are see if similar style homes, bedrooms, bathrooms, have there been any type of renovations or improvements to the house, things that can enhance the value and make sure that it lines up with what's sold recently. Recently could be in the last month or so, in the last 3 months, 6 months, if they have to extend out. Now, generally, what the real estate agents are going to do are give comparables to support the price that's under contract. Now, there's a couple scenarios that can arise from the home appraisal process. So hypothetically, let's just go with this. Let's just say that you're under contract for a home for $500,000. Okay. Now, the bank may come back when they do their own evaluation of the comps and what the home is worth and say, hey, listen, this is a great home. We see that the house is worth $500,000. And now guess what? We have no problem. We can move forward. They may even come back and say, hey, the house is worth $510,000, $515,000 is worth higher. So that's fine. That works. As long as the number matches what we're in contract for, we can move forward to the next steps. Now, the other scenarios that may happen is, let's just say, again, hypothetically, you're under contract for $500,000 and the bank says, hey, listen, this is a great house, but we don't see it necessarily worth $500,000. We see it at $490,000. Now, what does that mean? Basically, it means that the bank is going to issue a loan for up to $490,000. So there's a $10,000 difference between what you originally agreed on and what the appraisal process came back at. So three options that can happen. The seller can say, hey, well, listen, you know what? The bank is only going to loan $490,000. That's what the appraised value of the home is worth. Let's just move forward, right? And then you just continue the process from there. Option number two is that $10,000, the seller may say, hey, listen, I'll split the difference with you. All right, I'll come down $5,000 off the agreed upon price, but you have to come out of pocket to make up that additional $5,000. At that point, the buyer can say, hey, listen, you know what? I'll do that. I'll make the $5,000 out of my pocket myself and let's move forward. Or they may say, hey, listen, the bank and the appraisal said it was $490. That's all I'm going up to. And then the buyer and seller can mutually agree to walk away, shake hands and say, you know what? It wasn't meant to be. And then the third option, again, is the seller says, hey, you know what? I'm not coming off the $500,000. That's what we agreed upon. That's what I want to move forward with. At that point, again, the buyer can exercise their right and say, well, again, we said $490. You know what? Let's shake hands and let's just, part ways and mutually agree to separate from the deal. And the buyer will be able to get their down payment money back. All right. So those are a couple of scenarios that can arise from the appraisal process. You can also kind of, if you want to challenge the appraised value that was provided from the appraiser, you can also do that, and see if you can kind of prove your case as to why it was worth the $500,000. So that typically is the process for the appraisal. If you have any questions regarding it, please don't hesitate to call, text, email, even private message us on our social media pages. And once again, we look forward to being your go-to person for all things real estate. Make it a great day.